go. Hey, y'all, can you hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? I think you can hear me. I'm so sorry about all these technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. Let me know if you can hear me now. I've restarted my computer, I've restarted my tabs. Just let me know. Yes or no? Can you hear me? Just waiting. Just waiting. Hey, you can hear me? Okay, good. Good, good, good. Finally. No more technical
Hey, you
difficulties.
can hear me?
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right, I see us. I see us. We're back. We're back in the game. Dang. This was wild. Okay. I'm sure it was my fault. Okay. I'm sure it was my fault. Let me see. Um, okay, so I was starting the last live basically just saying that um when I do readings and I go live, I'm doing it for us to be able to observe, to be able to be an observer and learn from being an observer, being a watcher. And on the 13th, I did a reading and I was talking about the 14th and the 15th and how they were pertinent days to observe. And there are certain things that took place on the 14th and the 15th. I don't hang out on Twitter. So, not only that, I mean, I was doing things on the 14th and the 15th and was going to just look on the 16th, which was yesterday, to see what happened because there was new information that was coming in for Sebastian. New information, new, nothing old. It was new. New information was coming in. And new information definitely, you're a brat. New information definitely came in. And it came in through the nerdy addict. And I have no idea who this dude is. Don't know who Lady Justice is. Never heard of these people. Of course, I do my own thing on this channel. And I generally try not to get caught up in the chatter because it seems like, with Sebastian's case, with Summer's case, the chatter is cray cray. And it's a distraction most of the time. However, with saying that, this dude, Nerdy Addict, I looked him up this morning on Twitter or X, whatever we call it now. And I understood what I was seeing. I understood it all with Sebastian because I talked about a past teacher. I talked about Texana. I talked about Heather Cohen and how this was going to come back into fruition. We're going to be talking about Texana. We're going to be talking about a teacher with Sebastian, a past teacher, someone from the past, not a teacher today. Right? So this is the reason why I go live and I get excited when I see Sebastian coming into transit and it's not just Nerdy Addict. Okay? I want us all to understand that there is a much bigger picture that has nothing to do with Nerdy Addict. This is new information that if you have not heard it yet, you're going to hear it today on this channel. Seth Rogers. Good. I'm so glad that you can hear me. Seth Rogers met with other missing family members, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. If you didn't watch the live check it out because I'm talking about new information that is coming in for Sebastian. I am actually trying to figure out okay, so the parent teacher conference with Sebastian would have either been on the 2nd of February or the 7th. And I'm trying to confirm was it the 2nd? Was it the 7th? Both days are pertinent days for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And it has to do with school. It has to do with his, and I've been saying this all along. It has to do with the school. It has to do with faith. And the fix, manage, control family of the Proudfoot family, which includes Mr. Bowersox. It includes him too, right? So it's very interesting to see what this nerdy addict had to say. And I want you guys to maintain yourself, okay? Because we're going to talk about more important things than this, because there are great things that Seth has been doing and that is going to come into fruition that I am elated about. And I want to share it with you guys. You may have already heard about it, but if you haven't, this is the best chatter. It's really not about what happened in the past with the teacher, with the parent teacher conference, because now we are really, it's still, the fact remains Sebastian is missing and we need to find him. There's nobody that's going to be able to produce Sebastian. They're not going to come out and say, oh, this is what we did with him. This is what happened. That's not going to happen. Not yet. I mean, the law enforcement, when I've been telling you guys that the law enforcement's been working it, they've been working it. I mean, they have. They just have. Yeah, that damn name Texana again. Yeah. Yeah. So, and Texana, this is the weirdest thing. This chick is weird. The way that she is coming into the way that she came into the picture, I don't know if it's her hatred or her love for Bullhorn Betty. It could go either way. Um, but that is the common denominator with her and Chris and the Bower Sox. But they've been having a relationship, and it's very weird the way that this relationship has come about. So anyway, let's look at let me show you. Let me see if I can get this to work. Yeah. So let's check this out. Okay, so Nerdy Addict said that this was on the 14th. Okay. This was on the 14th. So if you go back to my reading, and I'm talking about the 14th, I'm talking about the 14th and the 15th being major days for Sebastian. He says, I pushed the Sebastian Rogers live stream to tomorrow. So evidently, this live stream was going to be taking place on the 14th. But it didn't happen. It was going to be pushed to the 15th because evidently, according to this dude's ex, Sebastian was going to be having an interview with Chris and Stephen Crabtree. So Stephen Crabtree and Chris, they were going to be on a live with him talking. This dude gets upset. He isn't, you know, nobody is paying attention to him. They're not confirming. So he gets mad. He blocks Chris and Steven. And now he's, you know, bitching about it on X. And he basically says that on the 7th, and this is on his X, he says that he confirmed with Chris that there was a parent teacher conference, not on the 7th, but on the 2nd. It was the 7th of 2025, evidently, according to him, that Chris told him, no, or somebody told him that the law enforcement had served a sealed warrant. I thought that this was kind of funny because here he is and he's talking about being a creator, not an investigative journalist, and he's going to disclose what he was told. And look, there's Crimson. Hey, I'm sending you a DM. I mean, just always up in everybody's business. Like she's everywhere. She is she the spokesperson? I don't know. Thought it was funny though. So the other thing that I wanted to show you guys was, well, where is it? Hold on. Where did it go? There it is. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. What's happening here? Okay. View. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay. So that's that. Okay. He comes out with a bunch of information. And that is exactly, y'all. That's exactly what I was talking about. Here's the relationship. Here's the new information. It's coming out on the 14th and the 15th. And I called it. And if you follow me here and I tell you, write it down. This is going to be a great day. You can take that to the bank. Okay. I've been doing this long enough. Been doing it long enough. And I map differently. I read astrology differently. There is no comparison. And I am going to pat myself on the back because somebody has to. Somebody has to. When I'm showing you the map is also expressing everything here. And yeah, Trisha, I did. I did see Kirsty, um, what she had mapped out 6 years ago. It was fairly close to that Jupiter line. This is correct. However, what I do is I am evolving these older studies. I'm implementing not just personal or outer planets, but also asteroids because I have found, and hypotheticals, because I have found that when we don't map those, we are missing important information. My software gives me 50 points to read. It gives me 50 points to map, and they're all pertinent to me. They're all telling a story. And so I implement and evolve these older studies with Kirsty, with AMAP. I'm evolving those studies. That's what I do. And if you haven't been following me long enough, now you know. That's what I'm doing. I'm evolving those studies. And not always will an inner or an outer planet pull. I found that over the last 10 years. And so if I'm telling you that, you can take that to the bank. I'm not just going to blow smoke, promise. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about, because okay, the nerdy addict, that's new information that we got. And but here is other information. This is new information as well. And the new information, hold on, yeah, here we go. The new information is also, this is the biggest for me. This is the biggest. Jennifer and Adriana Wicks went missing years and years and years ago. And Jennifer's sister has a Justice for Jennifer and Adriana Wicks page on Facebook. This is also new information. Yeah, exactly. He said, she said stuff. Let me plug up my computer. Hold on. He said, she said. Okay, had to plug up my computer. Sorry. All right. So Seth met with them on the 15th, and she talks about this meeting on the 15th. And I want to talk about that with you guys because it's very important that we understand that this case with Jennifer and Adriana. So this is what Casey, her sister, writes, Jennifer's sister, who has been missing for, gosh, 20 something years, since 2004, I believe. So 21 years. And I've mapped them. I've talked to the family of Jennifer and Adriana. She says, I promised other families. This was yesterday morning. She posted this yesterday morning on the 16th. Again, they met on the 15th, but I'm going to get into that. Okay. I promised other families that I'd try. In the beginning of this year, when everything from last year seemed to have just stalled, we couldn't see any progress. And I thought, no way does this go on another year after what they told us. I thought, why is this still happening? I looked around at other families just like mine in my feeds and I ached so deep inside that I could not explain it if I tried. I thought if we never get Adriana and Jennifer back, if we never see justice, if we have to do this the rest of our lives, I'm going to try to change that for other families. And I got to work without knowing the right people. Getting meetings with anyone who can actually help is almost impossible. I wrote letters to our congressman, the governor, the civil and criminal judiciary committee members of the House and Senate, some of their assistants, medical examiners, had conversations with House Rep Kumar, spoke with assistant director and legislative liaison at the TBI, who are both more than willing to advise and take the time out of their days to help. I wrote emails, I followed up. Mom and I met with a House representative out of Madison County, Chris Todd. Nothing. I continue to follow up and connect with other families to let them know what I'm doing and ask for their support. And she goes on to say that I thought, how can I turn this nightmare, our tragedy, Jennifer and Adriana's legacy, into something to help those other families? Even if we can help one other family find their loved one or see justice on year two, not 43. How can I do that? Oh, damn, it's been 43. No way. Damn, it's been that long. Sorry, I don't have it my data brain here exactly when they went missing. I've got it on the chart. So I flip back and forth to different cases. But anyway, she goes on to talk about how many cases that there are here in Tennessee, missing cases. And then she goes on to say 991 people. She says, I had the pleasure of meeting with Seth Rogers yesterday. That was on the 15th. His dad, his biggest advocate, not his mother. She didn't reach out to his mother. She reached out to his biggest advocate. Sebastian's biggest advocate is Seth Rogers, his father. Though our cases are different, Seth and Sebastian are the reason my family wants to see change. We are both working on legislation for missing persons. We had a meeting that we pray and set that ball in motion, and sitting around that table in that moment, and still today, I think it will. We have to, because we don't want these families to be sitting in our shoes 20 years from now. Special thank you to Senator Carrie Roberts for listening and understanding how this is so desperately needed in our state. She got a Sebastian Strong bracelet, and they are advocating not just for their missing, but for other people's missing, because there are too many missing in the state of Tennessee. There are too many cold cases in Tennessee. It is heartbreaking. And if you don't know, if you're not following Jennifer and Adriana's case, y'all, you're missing out. You're missing out because this case has blown up even more. Let me just show you. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And if y'all cannot hear this, let me know really quickly, please. When I share this tab, just let me know if you can hear it or not. All right. If you cannot hear, please let me know. All right. Here we go. This was on the news. Again, the readings that I do when I go live and I tell you to write it down, if I tell you that this is a turning point, you can take it to the bank. Y'all let me know if you can hear this. Here we go.
Tonight, Fox 17 News investigates the most significant development in the disappearance of Jennifer Wicks and her daughter Adriana in more than a decade. The Wicks family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the last people known to have seen the two alive. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino speaks to Wicks' mother about the alleged admission by an ex-boyfriend she says changed the course of this investigation.
In the past couple of years, the things that have developed as that family implodes have brought new life to my daughter and granddaughter's case.
After 21 years, the relentless search for answers and what happened to Jennifer and Adriana Wicks breaks open.
I want someone held accountable for what happened to my children at that home.
Jennifer Wicks and her 2-year-old daughter Adriana disappeared in 2004 after living with her boyfriend Joey Benton and his parents Joseph and Cynthia Benton in Robertson County. Kathy Nail, Jennifer's mother, and Casey Robinson, her sister, say Jennifer described tumultuous arguments at the house, including Joey Benton pulling a gun on her and her child. For years, Joey Benton and his family have denied knowing anything about what happened to Jennifer and Adriana.
I miss them both, and I would do anything to know where she was at.
We done everything we could for a year to try to help find Jennifer, and we just don't know where Jennifer is.
But in 2024, a shock. Law enforcement raided the Benton home. The search warrant turned out to be unrelated to the Wicks disappearance, but Joseph Benton Sr. faced more than 40 charges, including unlawful possession of dozens of weapons. He spent about a year in jail, which Nail says helped unravel her daughter's case.
There is an admission.
Nail says after Benton Sr. was arrested, Joey agreed to meet her in person.
And so then he went on to, tell us his version of what happened and make his admission of the role that he played in disposing of their remains.
Nail believes Joey feared his father would make a deal with authorities to lessen his own charges, revealing what happened to Jennifer and Adriana. Nail declined to say how Joey alleged that Jennifer and Adriana died, but she says that he admitted to helping dispose of their bodies.
That was probably the biggest turning point in our case because.
So he admits to helping dispose of their bodies. And I know that you guys may not know a lot about this case, but let me just tell you, Jennifer was on the phone with her aunt at 1:00. And Mrs. Benton, Cynthia, was yelling. I believe that is exactly when everything went down. And according to transcripts, Joey was on his way home. Joey was on his way home, and there was a fight, an argument between Jennifer and Cynthia and old man Benton, while Joey is allegedly on his way, because there was a lot of things going down. So let's listen to the rest.
For 20 years, he'd said that he dropped him off at a gas station.
In June, Nail filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Joey Benton, Joseph Benton Sr., and Cynthia Benton. The lawsuit says that Joey stated his father was involved in the murder of Jennifer and Adriana and that he had assisted in hiding their bodies. Joey Benton and his mother Cynthia filed court documents denying all of the claims, citing a statute of limitations and no supporting evidence. Civil wrongful death lawsuits carry much less of a burden of proof than criminal cases, even if the remains of Jennifer and Adriana Wicks were never located. A jury must simply decide if it's more likely than not that the Bentons are responsible.
They have to prove by preponderance of the evidence that the death occurred and this other person has done it. So it's a 51%. In a criminal case, it's proof beyond a reasonable doubt. It's much, much higher, much more difficult.
And there are even more twists. Joseph Benton Sr. disappeared after getting out of jail. Cynthia Benton filed to divorce him months.
So he disappears, okay? Old man Benton disappears after he gets out of jail. Cynthia has filed for a divorce.
Later, authorities found a severed leg near a creek that they confirmed belonged to Joseph Benton Sr. And just this month, a skull surfaced in that same area. TBI is now testing to see if that skull also belongs to Benton Sr. If Joseph Benton Sr. is confirmed to be dead after remains were found along this creek here, then the family of Jennifer and Adriana Wicks tells me they believe that's enough probable cause for law enforcement to search the Benton home and property again to find out what potentially happened to Benton Sr., as well as any other clues that might surface.
Yes, his leg was found. They did DNA testing. They confirmed that it was his leg. More body parts have been found here that have not been confirmed to be his. So they can't say until this DNA testing comes back that he is deceased. It would appear that there are different body parts that could lead us to think that old man Benton was dismembered. And I remember when that leg was found and they confirmed it to be his leg, I was so happy. I was jumping for joy. And I am a very sweet person, but he is not. And so I'm very happy that he got what was coming to him, but the justice is still not served. Joey and his mother know exactly, in my opinion, where Jennifer and her baby girl are at. And it's high time that that property is thoroughly searched. Thoroughly searched.
I believe that there's evidence that could solve our case on their property. I believe that Jennifer and Adriana could potentially be there and were there deceased at one time. They could have also been moved.
As the wrongful death lawsuit pushes forward, Kathy Nail says she's praying equally for answers and justice. I reached out to the Benton family for comment. I ended up speaking with Cynthia Benton, who told me they are only speaking with detectives in this case. As for the wrongful death lawsuit, Kathy Nail, the mother of Jennifer and Adriana Wicks, is requesting a jury trial. As that case moves forward, we'll continue to update you. In Robertson County, I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
So that's that. That's that. And like I said, if you have not followed this case, just know that this family does not want Seth Rogers to have to endure the same pain that they have. They are going after legislature. They want changes. Seth wants a Sebastian's law. Okay, so while we do have this new information, with the nerdy addict, we also have information that has come in about Seth meeting with the senator, with the family, with the Wicks family. And we are stronger in numbers. We're stronger together. We already have in our minds, and so does the law enforcement. Okay. And let me, while I'm talking about this, let me clear up some things. I want to clear up some things. There is, okay, so let me bring up Sebastian's map because I think that we need to make sure. Hold on. I want to make sure that you guys understand some of the misinformation. I want us to be on the same page. On this channel, I just want us to be on the same page to make sure that we have accurate information. And so I'm going to bring up Sebastian's map because I want to show you there was some videos. A creator did a video about uh, the neighborhood and Ward Lane. So I want to make sure that we are on the same page because this information also came out. I want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay. And I am back and forth reading comments. Sorry if I'm not in the chat just yet, but I want to show you guys this. Okay, so Ward Lane right here. There was information that came in from a creator here on YouTube that stated that from Ward Lane, you can drive this up to the cemetery. And that would be another way that Sebastian could have gotten out. He could have went this way, you know, through the new construction, and he could have went here. There could have been a car waiting there. That's not true. That's not true. I've been here. I've walked this creek. Let me show you something. Let's go closer. Here's the cemetery. Okay. You can come this way from the church, from Long Hollow. You can come into the church. You can drive through here and you can drive through here, but then you get stopped. You can't go any further. You can't go any further. This is private property. It's owned by a church. That church. If you come here, as soon as you drive up here, there's a gate. There's a gate and you can't drive any further. There's also this creek. This is a creek. It would appear that where the gate is, you might could drive over it, but it's private property and there's a gate there. So nobody could have driven around it. You can't drive around it. Okay. So that's a no-go. So no, ma'am, no ham. You cannot go through there. And if you're going this way, you get stopped right here. There is no other trail. It may look like that there is, but there's not. You can't drive it. So that's a no-go. Wrong information. No ma'am, no ham. I want to make sure that that is clear. There was a relationship when Sebastian went missing. Sebastian did not just walk out on his own without shoes or walking, hanging out. Even if he was playing flashlight tag, he's not going without shoes. He's not running around playing. Cameras would have caught him. That's not what happened. And the other thing that Lady Justice said on that video with Nerdy Addict, she says that it's uncommon for jurisdictions to not be on the same page. And that's a bunch of bullshit. That's a complete, she has no idea what she's talking about. It's very common, actually, especially here in the state of Tennessee with all the different officers I've spoken to over the years, captains and detectives. It is very common for jurisdictions to not share information. It's common for them to disagree. Just because Sumner County, according to Nerdy Addict, just because he says that Sumner County is thinking that he ran away, bumped his head, and that the TBI doesn't. I mean, that could be why the TBI that they gave Katie the lie detector test. She was the last one to be with her son. There has been no confirmation that Sebastian even made it home. I've got 2 maps now. 2 maps. And I tell you one thing too, being boots on the ground, not just, on here talking all kinds of shit. I've been boots on the ground numerous times, and all of these neighbors that I've spoken to around Happy Hollow, around here, down at the different stores, they all think that because Katie was the last one with him, that she knows where her son is at. I've been maintaining that I don't think that Sebastian is deceased. I think he is somewhere, and I think he is going to reappear one day. And I hope that I'm right. And of course, we have other people that don't think that. And that's okay. We don't have to argue because none of us really know. All I know is that there was a relationship. There was a relationship when Sebastian went missing. That's what I do. I look for the missing on the ground and on a map. I work tirelessly every day. And when I'm showing you guys the transits, and I'm telling you that there is a fork in the road, there was a fork in the road, and it happened on the 15th with the video that was released by Nerdy Addict. Because all of a sudden now we hear, and I remember telling you guys, I remember showing you the transits and telling you that there was an opposition with Katie, that there was communications that were going to be opposing her and her own husband. If that is the case, if that is even true, that he spoke to Chris and Chris gave him all this information. Her own husband flipped on her. If that's true, then that means that Chris Proudfoot told him that Katie's phone was seized, that there was information received about cameras, even a camera in Faith's room. The moon is reflecting Faith. So when I'm telling you guys that there is reason to believe certain things based on the degrees themselves, you see, I'm showing you every time in hindsight. It's credible. I may not can get exactly everything that's going to be taking place. And I mean, just because I talk to Seth doesn't mean that Seth tells me everything. Seth keeps a lot to his chest. He is not dumb. Yeah, Sebastian Law definitely does that, Seth. It definitely does that. Just because me and Jeff are friends with Seth does not mean that he tells us everything. Seth is a smart man, and he is smart enough to keep things to himself until the right time. And it is good news, Angel, for you. It is such good news that we are actually seeing lawmakers come to their senses and meet with these families to try to get something done. Laws have to be changed. We cannot continue. Look, we've got Martha Leanne Green, Tabitha Tutors, Baby Joe Clyde Daniels, Jody Brooke Anderson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on of all the cases that have not been solved. And These cases have one detective assigned, one. And the detective on Martha Leanne Green's case, he told me, he said, that is the major problem here. There's no sharing information. One jurisdiction thinks this, one jurisdiction thinks that, and there's no sharing information. Things have got to change. We have to do something different to get different results. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. Until that happens, we are going to continuously be beating a dead horse. I mean, it's just that's the way it is. I'm hopeful that Sebastian is alive, and I have mapped him from the Texas Roadhouse. And I think that there was a relationship, that there was something being planned. Chris's family, we have already been able to see that Chris's family likes to fix, manage, control everybody's life. They like to bully and make fun. They stand together. But if Chris is already flipping the script on his wife, what else? What else is he gonna do? Yes, Seth, he's worth every fight. Yeah, it is going to be a long, hard fight, and my son is worth everything and all of it. You know, Seth waits on his son to call him every day. Every day. His life hasn't gone on. He doesn't go on vacation. He follows leads. His health has suffered. His heart has suffered. When people are talking about their family, their kids, what is he doing? He still has his Christmas tree up. Everything is the same in Sebastian's room. Look, this father is the number one advocate, not the mother. And that's the weirdest thing to me, is that the mother, Katie Proudfoot, any mother of a missing child should be their number one advocate, screaming and crying and yelling at the top of her lungs to please help find her Venus, her love. But since day one, I've said it and I'm going to say it until he is found. She does not act like she has a missing child. And Chris acts like he's a Mr. Know-it-all, Mr. Cocky. And he is now the queen. He's the queen. He's the queen of bullshit, in my humble opinion. Oh, I can promise you his eyes 7. There are private investigators that are private. There are private investigators that are private. They're not like Fisher. Mr. Fisher wanting to be so relevant. But this guy, Nerdy Addict, he had a lot to say. There was some misinformation. This is on um, his Twitter. There was some misinformation, no doubt about it. But the thing that I love about his some of this is this, because I can chart it. You know, with the time, I can chart it. And check this out. This is what he says. Hold on, let me find it. Sorry. So basically, TBI is saying that it's the jurisdiction of Sumner County. He'll have to talk to them about the cameras. If that was, he wanted to confirm that that was actually true, that they went in and got devices. But this is what is interesting, because it has nothing to do with Bullhorn Betty. People are talking about it has to do with her, but it doesn't. Let's see. Hold on. Let me get to it. I had it in my earlier live. Here we are. Yeah, it says the TBI is assisting in that case. The Sumner County is the lead agency to reach out to them about the confirmation. And here he is again, getting all upset, blocking Chris now, talking about he's upset because he's trying to confirm with Crabtree and Sebastian's stepdad. He still doesn't think, he's also said on here that he doesn't think that Chris had anything to do with Sebastian's disappearance. Let me get down to it. Where has he got that at? Hold on, maybe it's in one of his, let me search it. Let me search it, warrant. I did have it up before I. Let's see if I can find it again. No. Damn it. All right, so maybe it's in his comments. Let me try to find it. Because this is, I mean, he said on October 8th, he's showing what I'm looking for is he's showing let's see, I think it was on the 15th that he does that. Let's see, 16th. Let's see. No, that's not it. He's showing a conversation, like a messenger, Facebook Messenger. I think this is it. After law enforcement executed the February 7th search warrant, Katie allegedly told family and friends she had broken her phone rather than admitting that law enforcement had seized it. So he's just, he's just mouth of the South over here, just delivering all kinds of information. That's not where that post is. Let's see. That's still not it. Okay. No. I may have saved it, actually. Let me see. Here's the 15th. Roughly 1 year after Sebastian went missing, law enforcement descended on his residence and executed a search warrant, seizing multiple electronic devices, including 3 cameras that had been installed after his disappearance. There it is. There it is. October 8th, 9:18 a.m. Okay, because this is the chart that we're going to look at. Okay. This is the chart. Who is the nerdy guy? Exactly. Evidently other YouTubers know who he is. I'm just now learning about him. But he is definitely inserting himself and he is coming out with new information. So that's what I'm concerned about is we have kept the warrant quiet. The probable cause document is sealed. Our attorneys found that out. So the probable cause is sealed. So we cannot find out about the warrant. So yeah, what else is he keeping quiet? What else is, but he totally flipped the script on his wife, Katie. This information that is coming out, if you go back to my last live, I'm tripping out about it. I'm like, what is going on? Communications are they're going against Katie, and it's with 2 people. Who are the 2 people? Crabtree and Chris. Or is it, we could say it would be with Nerdy Addict and this Lady Justice, whoever she is. I don't even know who she is. No, the nerdy guy is not related to the Proudfoots. He works missing kids cases. He was just in East Tennessee on the Summer Wells case. And then he drove to Middle Tennessee to talk to Chris and Crabtree. And he did. He talked to them. He even said that he was with At Night. This dude is not with At Night. He's not. He told people that he was with At Night Intelligence. He's not with At Night. That's a lie. Bold-faced lie. Is he just being funny? Maybe. Maybe he's not lying. Maybe he's just being funny, you know? So we do have that this, we have kept the warrant quiet. They seized Katie's phone. They seized the camera. Huh, they seized the camera, y'all. At a Faith's room. Why would they want the camera? You know, if we just pondered this for a minute, why would they want the camera that was installed after Sebastian went missing from Faith's room? And why install a bunch of cameras? Well, because they had a kid missing. I get that. I get that. You didn't have cameras installed before. Now you do. Okay. People said if this is true, this is interesting. Maybe they installed the daughter's camera because Sebastian went missing to be safe. Probable cause must have existed. Yeah, not Chris's. And this is all alleged. I mean, this is just what he is saying. There's no, we have no evidence to back it up except his messages. Except his messages. That would be the, yeah, in Faith's room. So, and this is where I want to pick this up. I think that this is important enough to take a look at the transits when this was supposedly taking place. October 8th. No, I'm sorry. Here we go. October 8th. It is October 8th. Okay, yeah. At 9:18 a.m. So we're going to look at this. We're going to look at this chart because this is very important to me. Let me take this off. Hold on. I'm going to adjust my screen for you guys so we can be on the same page. And I'm going to share my whole screen with you. So we can look at the transits. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm going to share my whole screen with you guys. We're going to get into this. If I share my whole screen, here we go. Now let me take off. Yeah. Let me take me off. Hold on, leave. Excuse me. Take that off. Okay, now we're gonna be on. Let me have this whole screen on. Hide. Okay. Let me pull up my pen app so I can show y'all what I'm talking about. So this is the exact time, and this is what astrologers like myself love, because we have a time. Oh, excuse me. Let me drink some water. This is so interesting to me. Check this out. Oh, thank you, Rosebud. No, Crabtree is not related either. Miss Crabtree is not related to them. So this is interesting. This is very interesting to me. Excuse me. Can't stop coughing now. So look at this moon. During this conversation where they're talking about attorneys it being sealed. This 542 is a degree in faith's chart. No matter what time she's born, she has a 542 and it's in Scorpio. It could be Cancer. I'm not going to pull her chart up. Actually, I think it is Cancer. It's about home. The Taurus, this Taurus moon is about devices. It's about things that we own, things that we possess. There's a device that was taken, and they were mainly looking at Faith. Are they wanting to see how she is being treated? Seeing what's going on in the room? I don't know. But this is very interesting to me because you know what? Not only does Faith have this 542 degree, but so does Eric Craddock, Sumner County. Yeah. So they share this degree. Faith has a weight. It's a Hades. It's a hell with this degree. And Craddock, it's his Jupiter. It's about the law. It's about the law. And exactly what was taking place during this period of time is this Mars at an 1103. All of this is in the past. Okay. 12th house is about the past. We are rising. We are rising in Scorpio, but this 12th house is ruled by Libra. It's about the law. It's about the justice. And we've got communications. There's Mercury. We got Mars, both in Scorpio. They're actually in conversation. They're conjunct. Within a 10 degree, they're conjunct. So a 250 and 1103. This is things of the past. So when this conversation was going on, we can capture it with a time of 9:18 a.m. So hold on. Don't get ahead. Let's stay with me right here. Y'all stay with me right here because this is so important because I talked about this. I talked about it. I went live and talked about this October 8th day. And we can always see a lot in hindsight. Mercury has just come over Katie. When her husband flipped the script on her, Mercury was at an 1103, 1104 in Scorpio. Mercury is following the trail of Mars. Very important, guys. Scorpio is about hidden sex, other people's money, things that are hidden with an investigation. You have to go deep beneath the surface to understand Scorpio, especially with Mercury. Mercury is about two, it's about communications. Mars is an active, initiating energy. So check this out. Mercury has just opposed Katie. Mars on this day was opposing Katie, opposing her. At the same time, this 2148 is found in Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers' natal chart, his birth chart. That 2148 is his Neptune in the third house of communications and siblings. Do you understand what I'm saying? There was a disordered aggression about the investigation that is hidden with Sebastian's sister and Craddock. That 2148 is found in his chart and it's in the third house of siblings. Hidden sex, other people's money, things that are hidden with the investigation. And at the same time, this 1542, well, that's exactly where Sebastian shines in Sag. He shines in the first house of Sag at a 1542. So the weight of home And the things that are hidden are about the communications here in the eighth house of death, rebirth, regeneration, things that are hidden, other people's money, hidden sex at home. At home, and it's about the communications. This 1442 goes to Terry Bowersocks. This man gives me the heebie-jeebies. And I also want to tell you something else about this chart. Also want to tell you something else. This goes to Chris. Chris was having an opposition here in the third house of communications with his siblings, with authority, with communications, with two people. On October 8th, 9:18 a.m., when he is having a conversation saying that the warrant, the probable cause is sealed. The other thing that I think is very interesting is this. This 1638 goes to California. California shines at a 1638 in Virgo. The North Node on this day, here in the fourth house of home, is opposing California in the way that they shine. The South Node on this day was sitting on California's sun, where we've been before, and Venus is right there. Venus is right there conjunct. So Venus and the South Node are just hanging out. We've been here before. And it's about children. It's about the publicity. It's about school. Y'all, there's so much that we can learn when we just become observers. Instead of using astrology like everybody else does, why not just think that in this day, y'all, I was in transit all day with authority. I was talking to y'all about the transits, about Sebastian, like I always do. Telling y'all we needed to really observe. And this is what we are observing. We're looking at it back in hindsight. Okay. We're looking at this back in hindsight. So right now, these are the transits. Okay. These are the transits. And there are a lot of things that I was discussing. I was discussing about what was to come. Okay. So I want to take us back. I want to take us back because I need y'all to understand. I was reading it on the 13th, and I said, there is a teacher, Selena, this teacher right here. She was coming to Sebastian where we were going to receive information. I said we were going to receive information. Excuse me. And we were going to receive it by October 14th, the morning of October 14th. So the morning of October 14th, the morning of October 14th, Selena, the teacher, is coming into the 8:30 where Sebastian receives and gives information. There was going to be things that were going to be new. We were going to learn. I stated that the nodes of fate, the 1619 in Virgo and the North Node, 1619 in Pisces, was on top of Cruella, Mrs. Bowersocks. I stated that Mercury had already opposed Katie. I just opposed Katie at that 1104, and that Mars at a 1512 was coming to and going to make contact with Sebastian's Mars. Mars is about the vehicle. It's about the body. The vehicle, the body. Okay. I could tell that Faith was coming into transit with Michael Proudfoot. There was going to be a reigniting of a flame. And then I noticed that Ceres was going to come and bring a lot of energy and was just going to sit on Sebastian's fifth house of kids. It's going to be about school. It's going to be about a teacher. That's what I said. Y'all can go back and look. Y'all can go back and listen. That's what I said. And I went ahead and I kept going and I was talking about the transits and the moon was coming to Texana. The moon was going to come to Texana. And we were going to see a reflection of things in the past with her. And there it is. There's the moon. Here is the past teacher. And I said, there is a teacher we're going to be talking about. I stated that the state of Tennessee was going to get a shakeup. Uranus was going to be at that 50. Going to receive some wisdom, bring a little shaky shake. And I also said that at this time, the lunar nodes were coming to Mississippi. And I wondered if Mr. Chris, Miss Queen would be in Mississippi. Just asking, just wondering, Mars had already come over Sebastian's 1542 sun degree. And then I got all excited because I, was noticing that this 1616 is going to come to that 1614. And that's exactly where it was when Sebastian was missing. Not the lunar nodes, the dark moon. It was the dark moon. Hold on, let me get back to it. This is when the fate with what took place with Sebastian in the past came into fruition. And it was happening on the 15th. And it did. It did happen on the 15th. It's Seth. Seth met with the Wicks family. The video was, I don't know what time the video was uploaded, but the North Node is hanging out in the 12th house. This is prisons and hospitals as well, but it's also about the past. And the 1614, we were fated to revisit the day that Sebastian went missing and revisit the pain that he was going through in that household. And I say revisit it because the 2nd of February and the 7th of February were pivotal days for him. 2024. I'm not talking about 25. The 2nd of February and the 7th were days that led to a relationship with Sebastian. And this relationship ultimately led to his disappearance. The wisdom, I'd also talked about the wisdom, that there was also wisdom that had come into Sebastian, and it's about school. It's about a teacher. It's the parent-teacher conference, guys. I mean, so let's look at today. I went ahead, the last live that I did, I played the tape through to November. And I don't know if any of you guys were following me in the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, I played the tape through to November. I actually even played the tape recently through 2026. I've showed you guys his birthday on the 17th birthday, the 18th birthday. So there's reasons why investigating with astrology based on the degrees matters. It literally matters in the state of matter. literally. So let's look at today. So today, right now, let's look at the moon first. The moon is in Virgo. It's at a 1206 degree. It's in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money. It's about kids. It's about publicity. It's about competition, school, teachers. And today, the U.S. Marshals and the state of Tennessee are in transit. They sure are. I wonder why. There's a lot going on with the Marshals and the state of Tennessee. And look at that. Look at that. So there is an opposition. Oh, with Eris. Eris is at a 2510. Zeus is at a 2509. Eris is coming down to that 2509. There's an opposition with the state of Tennessee and the U.S. Marshals right now. Right now. So, knowing that, let's see. Let's see. Tennessee and U.S. Marshals. Nope. I don't see anything. One day ago. Okay. One day ago. This is the opposition, it looks like. Latest data by the U.S. Marshals challenges Governor Lee's task force arrest numbers. There it is. There it is. We can't Google what's going on with Sebastian, though. We can't see the opposition until it's after. And all we can do is come back and look at it in hindsight. But this is obvious. There it is. The U.S. Marshals. Governor Lee is the governor of Tennessee. There it is. Federal crime crackdown. Memphis, Tennessee. During a press conference on Tuesday morning, hundreds of people arrested in Memphis. You don't say. You don't say. Yeah. So that is what's going on. That's what's going on with the U.S. Marshals. And I don't know that it's going to get worse for the U.S. Marshals or not. If there's going to be some kind of something happen with the U.S. Marshals, or, I don't know. I don't know if, because, Mars is a fiery energy. We could be looking at one of the marshals getting hurt. I would have to pull the U.S. Marshals chart to see if they are in any kind of danger. It's frozen. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Got that out. So yeah, the U.S. Marshals in the state of Tennessee, that's what it's about. That's what it's about. So hopefully they'll stay safe. But there's a major opposition that we can see with Zeus. I mean, it is what it is. Tennessee's Mars. Okay, Tennessee's Mars is in Cancer in their 8th house. So it's about vehicles, bodies, the action, the movement, possibly firearms involved with this opposition with Tennessee and, well, with the law, because Zeus is in Libra. So we're talking about the law, and we're talking about the warring. The law and the warring. There's warring going on in Memphis, and there is an opposition here. At home. This is in the 4th house of home. This is the public image of the state of Tennessee. It's the law. Zeus is attracted. It's almost like when I see Zeus, I think of a magnetism. Zeus is magnetism. We're magnetized with the law in the state of Tennessee. And it's with their Mars. Their Mars in Cancer. All the action, all the warring is in transit right now. But we can't see things going on with Sebastian. Hold on. Let me pull this up again. Let's look at this because we're about to see this 453. There's going to be a relationship around 4 o'clock today. Around 4 o'clock today, there is going to be this relationship that's going to give us a conscious raising experience with Sebastian. It's about long travels. It's in the 9th house. It's about higher learning. It's about courts, the sealed document. And at the same time, this 456 is the midheaven of Sebastian. His midheaven is a 456 in Virgo. His lowest point at home is in Pisces at a 456. His midheaven. That 456 is also going to be in transit with Venus. What did we say about Venus? Venus is about possessions, things that we own. So it's about Sebastian and things that he owns. There's a relationship. We're going to learn something from another relationship about the courts, about the long travels, about the fire. Fiery energy is with Sag. Going far, like going from Stafford to Memphis, is Sag. But here's the device. There's a device here. Sure enough, there's a device. And I believe that nerdy addict is going to be going live again. But who will be live at 4 o'clock? Because this is in transit, or is he just getting prepared for it? I don't know. I don't know. But I do know, what I do know is we've looked at this and we've talked about this. So let's backtrack. This series in the 3rd house is the TBI. It's the TBI. They are going to have a lot of energy with communications, with investigations, and their desires to solve crimes. So that's already passed. So the TBI has definitely there's a lot of energy here. It's still in trend, I would say, that started at 12. Yeah, so it's still in transit. So the TBI is in transit right now. There's a lot of energy going on with them. They got a lot of cases to solve, don't they? And then here we are with the state of Tennessee, and this is going to come late tonight. This is when I foresee that there could be some major problems going down for the state of Tennessee. Dang, come on, when's that going to be? Damn, Hygeia is going very slow. This would be Saturday. So this is going to be tomorrow at 1. Interesting. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the outer will of the state of Tennessee. It's in their 8th house. And I'm talking right now about that 2509 that's in their 9th, that's in their 8th house. See how Zeus has already went from that 2509 to the 2510? There's the action with Eris, the goddess of discord and strife, at a 2510. They're in a full-on opposition, and Eris is coming down to that 2509. So this weekend in the state of Tennessee, it is not good. It is not good at all. And it's about things that are hidden with the investigations at home here in Tennessee with groups. Wow, wow, wow. Shit is going to be going down with the U.S. Marshals, with the state of Tennessee on Saturday. So we will look at this again in hindsight. In hindsight, the moon, as you can see, is still in Virgo on Saturday. Tomorrow, the moon will be making its way to a full-on opposition with Saturn. Saturn 2630. So the moon is coming to the 2630 to have a full-on opposition. So not only are we looking at a very intense energy here with Zeus being in an opposition with Eris here at a 2510, we've got Astria coming to that 2509 and the 2510. Damn. Damn. That is the U.S. Marshals right here. That 606 is the U.S. Marshals. Major shit's going down tomorrow. Mark it on your calendars. It's big. This is a big ass opposition. And not only that, the lunar nodes are coming to, they are at a 1606 and they're coming to a 1604 with the state, not the state of Tennessee, but the U.S. government at a federal level. This is federal shit. And all the while, Crabtree is going to be coming into transit. He and Mama Bowersox have a degree in their chart that matches. So we will see him communications. He will be communicating. There is going to be a communications with him. There is going to be look at that, Mars and Mercury are coming into a full-on conjunction, going to come together at the same degree. I think it's at a 1910 and 1911. They're going to come into a full-on conjunction conversation. And of course, the dark moon has already went over where they're coming. But this 1806, let me get this. Hold on. So Mercury is going to be with Crabtree and Mama Bowersox, but then Mars in Scorpio is coming to that 1808. Who has the 1808? Let me tell you. Nina, Melissa, the old D.A. Whitley, Judge Blanton. So the judge in Sumner County, the old DA, Nina, Melissa. So I see Melissa, Nina, the judge, the old DA, and Mercury over Mrs. Bowersox and Crabtree. And then look at that. Here's the justice with the 11th house of groups. This higher learning, this long travel about the courts, about the warrant, the sealed documents. That's coming. That's coming tomorrow. There'll be more information coming in tomorrow. And look at that. So Venus, shit, this is not good. Venus and Ceres are in an opposition. Ceres has just left the Marshals, and now Venus is coming to the Marshals as well here in the 8th house. This isn't good. I really do hope that they stay safe. There's definitely a health factor in Tennessee tomorrow. This is a big day. Between 12 and 2 tomorrow, guys. Be on the lookout. Be on the lookout. I'm not sure what's going on with Crabtree, but it is about other people's money. debt, finances, investigation, and it is the same for Mrs. Bowersox, but it's going back to her pain, the pain that she has to keep under wraps, I guess. Pain that she has to keep under wraps about prisons and hospitals and drugs. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Let's look at this opposition with the moon. The moon and Saturn is going to come to an opposition that is sun is going to be shining in Libra. Okay, let's look. 2630. It's 2630. This is going to come tomorrow afternoon. 2630. The moon is here. The seventh house of relationships and partnerships. There's something that begins and ends. With this opposition, see Indiana, and then now here's the opposition. Let me save this. Let's see if we can tell who is who here. The other thing too is on the world stage, because it's a stage, right? On the world stage, we are definitely there is a lot when it comes to the Epstein case. Jeffrey Epstein is in transit in a major way during this time period. Major. I'm not going to get into that because that's not what this live about, but I can see it as plain as day. It's big. This weekend is a big weekend, both on a federal level and a state level. We're seeing a lot of warring in Tennessee. That is for sure. It's big. It's big. And it's big for the United States on a federal level with Tennessee, Memphis. I mean, Hygeia is here at the fourth house of home. And on the outer wheel, just sitting on the outer wheel of the eighth house is about death, rebirth. If there's a rebirthing that's taking place in Tennessee for real. This 2021 is Mrs. Maxwell and myself. This is Seth. There is major transformations that is taking place with his health, with the desires to know what happened to his son, changing laws, changing how the way that the law enforcement investigates, the way that they share information, the way that they collect information when a child goes missing. That's Sebastian's law. So that is the reason why there is a lot of transformation. It could be other things going on with his health. Let's look at this. So we know that the moon is in an opposition with Saturn, which is big. Let's see. Not only are we looking at an opposition, the moon in the seventh house of relationships and partnerships is pulling away from the conjunction of the south node. And we have to remember, okay, so we have to remember that Pluto, even though Pluto has gone direct, Pluto has been at this 122 for a while and is going to maintain itself for another few days. This 122 goes to Edward Snowden. It goes to other people too, like Devlin Tate, missing Devlin out of Michigan. A lot of things that we are learning about Devlin's case. And I don't know what's going on with Snowden, but we could Google it. Major transformation that's taken place, though. And the moon is trying. The moon is in a good standing with groups. with authority, with groups, major transformation with groups, possibly out of business. Maybe there is looting or fires being set in Tennessee. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's big. The sun is definitely shining on the FBI. The FBI shines at a, oh shoot, the FBI shines at a 2542, and that's where the moon, I mean, the sun is going to be, is shining on their ascendant. So we can definitely see that the FBI is involved. We know that the US Marshals are involved with what has taken place on this day with Tennessee. It's big, 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 big. So we have an opposition to Saturn. So the moon and Saturn, we know that. It's in a good standing. It's a sextile with Jupiter. Here is Jupiter. And let me just say, if I remember correctly, that 24, there's a 2411, possibly a 2414 in the United States chart. So there's an expansion with home, and there's all kinds of shit going down. There's a health factor. So it's either going to be taking place in Memphis, or we could be seeing a quake or something like that. I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to have any bad weather Saturday. I know we're going to have a cold front come in. I don't think we're supposed to have any bad weather, but I mean, that's possible. It's also a good standing. The moon is in a good standing. It's in a trine with Uranus, and Uranus is here in the third house of communications at a 0044. And let me just remind you guys, Uranus is about to shake Melissa up. The Proudfoot family. So the divine justice, when Sebastian went missing, it was in the divine justice with us in Cancer, and it was at a 0044, and it came down to a 041. So this 44 is coming down to that 41. Uranus is about to shake things up with communications with not just Melissa, Michael Proudfoot. There's definitely going to be things going on with, y'all remember Terry Bowersox Jr.? Can't forget about him, right? Because remember, Terry Bowersox Jr. posted, and I still have it. It's on it's online if you want to look for it. But he posted that he wouldn't put it past Chris to have done something to Sebastian. I don't know him like, yeah, I don't know him at all. Never met him. Never met Katie. But Terry Bowersox Jr. has. And not only does Terry Bowersox Jr. connect to the state of Tennessee, but he also connects to Kentucky where he lives. Just saying. If I could talk to any of them, that's the one that I would like to talk to, is Terry Bowersox Jr. Because he's put up, it sounds like he's put up with a bunch of crap. But yeah, this is what it's coming to them. It's coming to the siblings, the sibling house, the communications with all these people. It's also, the moon is also in an opposition with Neptune, even though Neptune is, oh, sorry, I'm only using one finger. Even though Neptune is in Aries, it's still in an opposition to the moon. Could be confused and drunk. It's what the the opposition to Neptune. We're confused, we're drunk, we're under a spell. It's also a quincunx with Chiron. Chiron is at a 2448. And let me just say, that 2448 is coming to, let me tell you, let the drums roll here. Oh my God. 2445. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Right here. Right there. Okay, so what we're going to see is we're going to see that there is going to be a pain that comes over China with the U.S. Marshals. Tennessee is still here, still the same old energy that's happening, but the This is going to be with China and the United States. There is all kinds of shit going down. But what I can tell you this is the generals in Virginia, the Prophets, the General Prophets, well, there's some pain here for him. I wonder how he's doing. Wonder how General Prophet Jr. is doing. I just wonder how he's doing because he's showing up. And usually, if I text somebody and say, "Hey, how you doing?" It's because I've remembered a degree in their chart. And I'm definitely interested in knowing how it's expressing itself with that person. So I would like to know how China's doing tomorrow. Are they going to have a big quake? Is there some kind of warring going on? Is there a directed energy that they've been hit with? I don't know. But this 2445 is also going to General Prophet Jr. And then as it comes down in degree from that 2445 to the 2443, it will come to the state of Virginia. Okay. The state of Virginia. So let's look at we've got this relationship, the dark moon, Mars, Mercury, and they're all just hanging out. But the dark moon has went first. Actually, the relationship went first. The relationship and the dark moon. Mercury and Mars are going over the same track as the dark moon, the same track as the relationship. They are also going over the same track that Vesta, the flame of life, and the divine justice. Just think of her, she is justice. She's Virgo. She is the justice. They've already went over the same track that these two are going over. And this is really going to get interesting. Watch this. So let's take Mars back because this is when Mars is going to shake things up with Sebastian's groups. This is going to be Sunday morning. There's a little shaky shake right here. Mercury hasn't come here yet. Here's the action with groups, with the things that are hidden, with Mr. Bowersocks. The things that are hidden with Katie Proudfoot and other people's money, the investigation process, and there's a shakeup. There's a shakeup. I also see things of the past. With Crabtree. I also see things in the past with Crabtree. I see that there is definitely some justice that has taken place with Faith, Sebastian's stepsister. And the moon is reflecting the TBI. Something is beginning and ending. So Mars is going to come and give the shake-up with the home of Sebastian with his mother, because his 1846 is Uranus in Pisces. It gives him a shake-up, especially with drugs or alcohol, prisons and hospitals, water. Let's see. What else? What else is happening here? Oh, shoot. So now let's look at Mercury. Mercury is going to come. So this is Sunday morning, but then Mercury is going to come right behind and talk about what Mars just went through. Mars just went through something, and Mercury's going to be talking about it. Let's look at this. We want Mercury to be at the 1846. But I want it to begin at that 1846 so I can see the beginning of it. And we're talking with relationships and partnerships here about the investigation, the things that are hidden sex, other people's money, all that Scorpio stuff that wants to go beneath the surface and get down to the nitty gritty. Now here we are. Now here we are. So I can see that there's going to be a relationship that's going to shake things up for the state of Tennessee. It's going to hit the ascendant. This is Sunday night at 6 o'clock. Mars is now at an 1857. Mercury is now, we're talking about the justice system, the law, the contracts, with relationships. The moon is now in Libra. That 940 goes to Katie. The past devices that were taken. So I think that what we're going to see is there's going to be other people that are going to be talking about what the nerdy addict talked about. That looks like the chatter. Just a lot of chatter. God's will is being done with Chris at 1943. Those 1940s that keep showing up, that's him. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed. Because all of this is going on. So Mars, now that Mercury is here, now we're in the past with Chiron at that 2445. With the people in Virginia, the Proudfoots in Virginia. I'm not saying that they had anything to do with it. Let me just give a little disclaimer here. I'm just reading a chart and I'm connecting the dots. I'm connecting the different degrees and charts. And I can see the pattern. I've been seeing the pattern with this dude. And I just want to clarify that I do see that. I do see that there's an expansion that's going to be taking place with Oklahoma. This 2419, there is going to be an expansion with Oklahoma at the same time. But this guy, I've been watching him for over a year. And every time Sebastian is coming into transit, I see him too. And I have to wonder why. It doesn't just go to, that 2445 doesn't just go to China. It also goes to him. Also goes to him. So I want to see what Chiron and Mercury are expressing. What kind of aspecting are they doing? So we can see that the 2445 with the Proudfoot person that I'm talking about in Virginia, it's actually opposing the sun. So when the sun is shining on the FBI, it's opposing him. The FBI is opposing him. When the sun is shining on the FBI, that sun is opposing Terry Bowersox Sr. It's opposing him. There is a major challenge that has taken place with the justice. Chiron is square Jupiter. That means that Jupiter here at a 2419 is challenging things of the past. And again, I'm calling out Oklahoma. Oklahoma home. What does this boy know? Does he know anything? I would like to talk to him. I would. Chiron is in a good standing with Astria. I'd like that. I like that a lot. So Astria is here. Oh, shoot. At a 2531. This 2531 with Astria, I'll have to pull up his chart and see if he has this in his chart. This boy is known for a long time ago setting fire. He's a fire starter. I'll call him the fire starter. So that's interesting about that. And let me just tell you, he is coming up on a Saturn return too. When this Saturn at 2626 comes to that 2445, he will have another Saturn return. Will it ever get there or will it start moving forward? He's already went through a Saturn return during the time period that Sebastian went missing. Wink, wink. Yeah. So it's square Jupiter. It's in a good standing with the justice system and the courts. It's opposing Zeus. Zeus has already left the state of Tennessee. It's now at a 2511. I'll have to pull up Oklahoma's chart, Virginia's chart, and see who this is really connecting to in a big way. The dark moon at a 2304. This is all in the 8th house. I mean, all in the 7th house right here. All of this is in the 7th house of relationships and partnerships. But this relationship that's coming to the state of Tennessee to bring a conscious raising experience, that's big. Actually, it's about communications. It's about communications with the state of Tennessee, and it's about communications with the TBI as well. Tennessee and TBI. Interesting. Because we know that this goes to China, but look, I'm seeing Tennessee and I'm seeing the TBI as well. Then what's going to happen is this. After Mars and Mercury get done, this is what's going to happen. This 1612, the wisdom with 1612 is going to come to that 1614 with Sebastian. This is also with Trump too, so just saying. Just saying. Trump and Virginia. So let me take it back. Hours. Let's get to that 1614 with Poseidon, and I'm going to stop it. I'll stop the clock and I'll tell you what day this is. Looks like it's going to be the 21st. Yeah, it's going to be the 21st. This will be involving Tuesday morning. When we wake up Tuesday morning, the wisdom comes upon Sebastian. We have a new moon in Libra. God's will is being done with Ghislaine Maxwell. There is definitely things that are coming to California. Definitely things coming to California. The wisdom holder is in Virginia. Mercury is, we are communicating about the discord, the fighting about school, the problems that Sebastian was having at school. Because that 2042 goes to him. It also goes to other states. I won't be talking about that right now. There's the Marshals going to show up again. The wisdom is showing up with Katie. Okay, so Katie is being opposed with the devices, the phones, the values, the money. I can see that as plain as day. She has that 1425. The things that are hidden, her desires that are hidden. She wants Sebastian to be independent of her. He wants to be independent of her. So where is he? Where is he? Where's Sebastian, Katie? Where is he? We're just wanting to know. We want to find him. Okay, so then we are going to learn something new, possibly about a church, a school, a homeschool on Tuesday afternoon. There is a relationship that is showing up in Indiana. The moon is reflecting all of Chris's problems. I see Melissa all in the transits as well with California. She is holding the fate. This is a pivotal time period for Sebastian's case, especially with We the People. With We the People. This 2016 is definitely showing a conversation with the courts, with learning. The TBI has a lot of action. They are seeing a lot of wisdom with a relationship, and that, let me tell you, is going to be, I can already tell you, it's gonna be with Texana. If they haven't looked into her and her relationship with the Proudfoots and the Bowersox, they're definitely doing Sebastian a disservice. Definitely. But this wisdom isn't just with Sebastian, it's also with Virginia, his connection with the Virginia, he's got a Virginia connection. I mean, he's went to a lot of states. He has a lot of family members in different places, you know? I mean, it's not that I think that he could be in Virginia or he could be in California. I think that he could be in a lot of places. I think he's alive. I'm a minority. I know that. I get it. I don't care. And none of us know. And until Sebastian shows up, we don't know. We just don't know. We can speculate. We can, I can read these transits. I can tell you that this is coming in, this person, this is it, and that person. But there is definitely a flame of life with Seth. There's a lot of transformation that's going on with him and the law with Sebastian's army. And I think that that is the absolute best information that we could have possibly gotten. Laws need to be changed, not just for the Wicks family and Sebastian's family, but for the past cases and the future cases to come. It's very sad that it's been this long and we still have no answers. Nobody has been arrested. It's just sad. I hate it. I hate to think that, it could be any of us. Any of us that could have our kid go missing right now, and we're gonna be in the same boat. We're gonna be in the same boat. So, if we look at Sebastian's map, let me pull up his transits again. I mean, not his map. Let me pull up his map again. And I'm gonna pull it up from the Roadhouse, from the Texas Roadhouse. There's Owens Chapel. This is where the Wicks girls went missing. Let's just go ahead and look at it from the Roadhouse perspective. Look at that. Look at that. Interesting, isn't it? That when we map a person, they don't have to be missing. I don't have to map you as a missing person. It's going to express itself. It's going to show an expression. This is where Sebastian, when he went missing, when he left from the Texas Roadhouse, at that exact moment that he is seen driving off on camera, This is where the intensity is going. It's going this direction, straight to Owens Chapel Road, where Jennifer and Adriana went missing. Interesting, isn't it? That it's going to pick it up. Why would it pick it up? Why would it pick up where the old man would have been found? Huh. Let's just go in a little deeper. Let's turn on addresses because it's here. It's right here where Melissa lives. There's the missing. There's the missing. I'm not making this up. I'm not making these lines go to her house. Okay. What is the missing Vulcan that's conjunct Mercury in Pisces? Okay. I haven't put all the notes here like I have on my other one. But the missing Vulcan, let's just play this through. The missing Vulcan that is conjunct, that means it's in the same sign, possibly, unless I say otherwise. It's conjunct Mercury. So God's will is being done with communications with siblings. In Pisces, it's about drugs and health or a hospital. Drugs, hospital, endings, past. Siblings, communications. Okay, so that's this conjunction. During the time that he goes missing, it's going to her house. Why? I wonder why it's going to her house. Could it have something to do with her sibling? Could it have something to do with past endings, hospitals, drugs? What? Just wondering. This is where there's a shakeup. There's a relationship that's in the past that just brought a shakeup to Sebastian. It's going this way from his house. I'm sorry, from the Texas Roadhouse. Let's go back up, though. I just want to focus on Melissa right now. Let me just focus on her right now. See if anybody else is showing up. I know I've just started this map. The DA, the new DA, not the old DA, the new DA. He's showing up here, close to her house. And it's with his Chiron. He shares pain about prisons and hospitals, things of the past in Pisces. And this is where he brings justice with this conjunction. This conjunction is centered around her home. Now let's look at the state of Tennessee. I've got 14 angles with the state of Tennessee. Return. There's the Tennessee. They shine here, but then this is where Pluto is being opposed. Pluto is in their fourth house of home. Don't see them. There's Seth. Okay, so all of this is going up to the Benton property. All of this is going to the Benton property. And you see that the natal Sebastian's, his Neptune is going there. Remember when I was telling you and I was showing you the transits and I said, the dark moon has just went over Sebastian's Neptune? That's it. That's why. It's because that Neptune is going to the Benton property with the third house of communications. I mean, you can't make it up. It's so cool. It's so cool. So let's go further. Let's go in this. Let's go. So this is the Texas Roadhouse. He leaves the Texas Roadhouse and allegedly goes home. I think that this could be, I don't know. I'm just guessing, theorizing here. Oh, I think it's possible that the TBI and Sumner County, this is where they may differ. Maybe TBI doesn't think that he actually made it home. Maybe Sumner County thinks he made it home. You would think that the agencies are going to communicate together effectively, but they may not. They may not. That's always a problem. Always a problem. Here is Culver's. Here is, that's an RV inspection place. Here's Walmart. The DA just so happens to be going over the Walmart. And this is where he has his Apollo that brings enlightenment, his physician that brings enlightenment. This is also, let's look at that. What is this actually? Okay, that's a training, fit training. What else we got here? Okay, so this is the side of Walmart. I've been there. Mexican restaurant. The Tennessee Fifth House Outer Wheel in Aries in the 11th. So this is where the state of Tennessee would share information with the other agencies going this way. This is where Sebastian's been before during the missing event. There is, what is this? What is that? What is that place, I wonder? Is that the fitness place? Huh. Let me go outside of here. What else do we have here? Hold on. This is the second house of value. So I'm looking for a shop, something that they would have bought. That's Walmart. Tennessee and TBI are both over here. So this is the moon. What did they buy at Walmart? Did they go to Walmart? When did they go to Walmart? I mean, because something's happening here. Let's see. There's a new construction. Let's see. Lowe's. Okay. Liberty Cove. Let's see. Dude was also talking about that nerdy addict. He was talking about the dam. Here's the dam. Just so y'all know, it's a hydroelectric dam. If you don't know what that means, go ahead and Google it. But this is what he was talking about. He was talking about this dam right here. He said that that the dogs hit on the dam, the Old Hickory Dam. But I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that is true. There's Forest Retreat. Here's Rockland. There's the power plant. This is the dam. So Sebastian rises here. He rises here with a lot of intensity. He rises here with an investigation into other people's money. Things are hidden with him and the investigation into where he went. He rises here. So his natal is rising here. This is where Katie has her Pluto that is conjunct Cupid. So the transformation with her desires takes place here. The missing third house, this is the communications. Here's communications here. There's the police department in Hendersonville. There's the strike and spare. This is where communications are. And this is what the DA is trying to uncover, is going through here. Communications. Here. At the strike and spare. His health, things of the past. Sumner Wholesale Auto. One of the neighbors who is now a physician may have worked here. And it's an auto sale place. Here's Drake's Creek Park. Dude was showing that on the on his video as an aerial, and I frequent this park a lot. And there's a creek that flows through it. This is the communications with the wisdom with Chris. And it's going over this car wholesale place. It's going over the police department in Hendersonville. And like I said, this is the Neptune of the Scorpio Neptune with the DA that trines Mars and Pisces. This is about the vehicle. And it could be a vehicle that is at that auto place up there. Then, of course, we go into the water. And it's Katie, the DA, the missing, the natal, and the TBI. The only one that's missing is the state of Tennessee. I'd like to see the state of Tennessee here, but I don't know. Maybe I just didn't put that in here. With Tennessee, they should have some Scorpio. Let me see. So that's Tennessee Libra. Yeah. So we're missing a line for the Tennessee. Like I said, I'm still working on this map because it's from the roadhouse, not from his home, because now we're thinking maybe he just didn't make it home. And I wonder if the TBI thinks that as well. Maybe he just didn't make it home. This is where Fred and Sheila went to. The FBI was rising there. The sun is shining on this area. But let me tell you something. Sebastian, if he were to have walked out of that home by himself, he's not going to walk all the way down 6 miles down to the river, to the Scumberland. It ain't happening. That's a no-go. It's absolutely the most ridiculous thing we could hear. There's no way that he would have had to been taken here. He would have had to have been taken here. He leaves the roadhouse, right? He leaves. This is what I think. I think there was a plan to get Sebastian out of the house. Chris and his family were having to come apart with Sebastian's behavior. And let's face it, Sebastian, 15 years old, he's going through puberty. He is understanding things about himself and other people. I'm sure he has a sense of humor like his dad. He's funny. Sebastian may just not have made it home. because there's nothing showing that he made it home. We have not seen anything anyway. Maybe the law enforcement is just keeping it close. We haven't seen anything. They say, okay, all the cars have been accounted for. We don't have any proof that Sebastian ever walked out of that house. The proof that they have that Sebastian walked into that house is the grainy video taking the trash down. Did they clear that video up? Can they for sure tell that that's Sebastian? Did they for sure tell that Sebastian got out of that car and walked into the house? What information do they have that we just don't have? You know, that's possible. But I think that this is where we get a little hairy here because he may not have made it home. There was it's I want to say 9 minutes, maybe 14. Let's see, where's the addresses here? There's his home. You go ahead and move that so I can turn these addresses off. So he goes home or not. But this is 5.69 kilometers. So let's say it takes about 9 minutes. 10 minutes. Let's say it takes 10 minutes for her to drive there with the traffic, 5 to 6 o'clock traffic, right? So she drives home. There's more traffic, so it's not going to be quick. She can either drive going this way. She can either drive going this way up Drake's Creek, right? She can leave here. She can drive this way, going up 258, going this way. That seems like that would be the quickest way. We don't know. We don't know which way she would have taken to go home. So if she were to have passed Sebastian off to someone quickly without being seen on camera, where would that have been? Where would that have been? Right? So let's go further down. We see the Texas Roadhouse is here. This is a hotel. Convenient, right? Convenient that a hotel would be here. So who stayed at that hotel? Was there anybody? Did the law enforcement check this hotel out? Because that seems awful convenient that she would have eaten here, hotel here, right? This is where Sebastian was parked. That red circle is where they were parked. So we've got the hotel. Let me show you on the map here. So I'm looking at the hotel. Now, what is this? That's Jonathan's. Okay, so we have Jonathan's and the hotel. So we have one restaurant here and a hotel here. Here's Jonathan's, the restaurant. Here's the Marriott. This is where Sebastian was parked. Okay, let's go over here. Let me make sure that I've got it right. Let me make sure. Hold on. Damn it, I can't see it from here. Huh. Shit, can't see it from here. Urgent vet. We just want to look at all these different places. Vanderbilt. So if I'm looking at it from this, just want to make sure that I've got the where the entrance is. So the entrance is here, gated. No, this is the other side. Yeah, this is the back side, right. So this is the back side. This would be the front. And I'm not able to look at it. I'm not able to see it. Shit, why? I feel like a peeper over here. I'm looking at the front. No. No, 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 no. She parked. She parked here. Isn't that right, y'all? It looked like that there was a gate right there, like you couldn't see anything. But I don't remember seeing that. That is where the handicap parking places are. Right? Right, y'all? The hell. This red circle, y'all. This red circle is where I thought that Sebastian would have been parked at when he left. But there is handicap places here. I think he would have been parked there. Don't y'all agree? Oh, don't y'all agree? That means I got to move that. Hold on. Don't y'all agree that he should be he should have been parked over here? Because there's the trees. Okay. So I'm gonna have him shit. Okay, so I'm gonna change that. Because we gotta get it right. Exact. Shoot. So he would have been parked. What do y'all think? Maybe right here? No. Right here? They pull out, she backs up and she goes this way. Right? She goes that way. So let's just put it right here. Let's just put it right here because they go this way. All right. Now I've got to do this. Hold on. Now I'm going to move these over here. Okay, because we wanna look at this the correct way. Oh, okay, there's the DA. See, I only have just a little bit of Chris on here, on the new one, it takes a lot of work to create a map, and then it takes a lot of work to recreate from a different place. Um, okay, so that's Chris. I got one for Melissa, looks like. So this is where I wanna talk about the green hoodie. Got one for SF so far. Oh, now one for SF. Oh, Seth is all over the place with that. Because this is where I think we need to do a little bit more investigating to get a precise understanding. Oh, what the hell did that do? God. Okay, so that's Seth. Here's the missing. Jesus. The missing is all over the place too. I'm not going to do this one by one, I promise. I'm just taking these that are a little out of whack. Oh shit. Let me just go back. No. Right, that's good enough right there. Let's do Tennessee. And we're almost done. We're almost done. We're about to talk this out because I think that this is important. There's Tennessee, TBI. I'm hoping that they will bring this home. And I'm hoping that they are really working hard on this case. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Veronica. Yeah, I'm just going to use because I know that they backed up and pulled and came this way. So that's the time that I have is when they backed up and started to leave. So that's okay. Uh, and we're going to see the lines coming from that. I want the lines to be not coming from them from here, but from here. It may not be that big of a deal, but it kind of is. Only because I want to see the different areas Jesus. Get Katie there, and now the FBI, and that's it. Now that's it. All right. Okay. So if he is, let's say that he was here, right? Or here. He would have either been here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that this is where he was. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that this is where he was. Or it could have been here. But I'm pretty sure it's right here. This is the back. So I want to see this line with the missing. It would have been the walkway. Yeah. Yeah. So the walkway wasn't used. This person came from here to use the bathroom, right? That's the story. That's the story, that they came there to use the bathroom. It was, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So instead of using a bathroom here, where'd my little man go? Oh, shoot, he's way down here. All right, let's go back. Go back, little man. Why does that say Jonathan's? Why do I keep seeing Jonathan's? That's Jonathan's. So this is just a strip. With T-Mobile, Parks Real Estate, Vanderbilt Eye Institute. Okay, so that person leaves this strip, goes in the back, goes into Texas Roadhouse. So here's the communications with Vesta. This is where Vesta is reigniting a flame. This is where the communications are coming. This is 2 people. This should be 2 people communicating. During the missing event, the MC was in Gemini. It's right here. There's a letting go. Critical. There's a letting go with money. Has to do with a long travel, higher courts, grandparent. And there is a breakup with communications. And that breakup with communications is caught on camera. Some type of communications here. There's a shakeup with money. This is where I'm seeing a relationship right here. So she pulls out, she goes down. And she would have had, she comes down, and she would have went this way. To Indian Lake. So we could have seen a camera here. They could have gotten video camera from here. There's a camera. Maybe not. From Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's put these lights. I don't see any cameras there. Buffalo Wild Wings. Missing 5th house, outer wheel in Capricorn, 11th house. 11th house. She would have went this way, I think. And instead of going straight, she could have went straight. Yeah, she would have went straight. I don't I don't know, y'all. It's like, huh? Are we at the red light together? I mean, how would this have happened? We go straight? No. No, 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 no. She could have went right. She could have went right. No, that's going the wrong way. Hold on. Let me situate myself here. She would have went straight and turned here. Or straight. She could have either went straight, kept going straight up Drakes Creek Road, turned right here. This is the North Node in Aries. 2nd house, outer wheel. This is the, okay, so this is where things would have been hidden right through here. Let me see this area right here. Right here. Okay, there's no mailbox there. You could pull off right there. You could pull off right there. Okay, so she could have went this because this looks like we got values. The 2nd house is about values. It's Venus, things that we own. But this is Aries. This is where there would be a vehicle that is hidden. There is a vehicle that would be hidden through here because this is where the outer wheel is going in Aries, and it's the 8th house. So there is something that is hidden. Aries is about a car, a vehicle. So we're going up Drakes Creek into stop 30, or we're coming down here because this is where the North Node is, and it's fated with the dark moon in Virgo, which is about health. The dark moon is about the disordered aggression. So this right here is where I'm talking about. Christ is love, church. Christ is love. We're meeting at a church. I wonder if they've looked at, here's what I think. I think that there is nobody else involved. I mean, Chris and Katie and their family. So look at all this that's going over the church, unless those same lines or on Vietnam vets. Go this way, like we're going to her house on Vietnam vets. Those are the same lines with the Mars. Just look. Hmm. They said that they could hear them talking. I think it was for 6 minutes. So that would have given them okay, so if that's the case, hold on. If that's the case, okay, so she gets on Vietnam vets, maybe. Maybe. She comes up here on Vietnam vets. No. She gets on, yeah, she gets on Vietnam vets. She gets off at Old Shackle Island. Six minutes. So we're looking at maybe 4. Let me do the math here. I still think that this is where we're going here, right here. Fifth house, outer wheel, and Capricorn, right here. Right here. This has got to be it. If she went this way, just let us know, Katie, which way you went. Then it could have been here or at the car wash. I'm looking for a camera. I wonder if these cameras work. Somebody call this. Somebody call them and ask them if their cameras were working. They've got to have cameras, right? There is also a car wash here. The car wash and the store. Okay, but if we keep on looking at this and see if there's anywhere else, there's that area here. But you're still, I mean, that's awful ballsy. Let's right here. Okay, right here. This is where I would think if I was going to try to hurry up and go somewhere that it would be right here on Stop 30 Road. No cameras. No cameras. And you could quickly take this way on Stop 30 Road. It's gonna be right here, y'all. This is where if they did any type of drop off, it would probably be on this shit. Right there. Huh. Let me move it to there. So let's see. So she could have went just straight, took a left on Stop 30, met someone, dropped him off really quick, bye. And we're just maintaining ourselves. We got caught on the camera, right? We come down, Stop 30. Would they have been if there was a camera, you probably couldn't have seen if Sebastian was in there. But I think that there was like 6 or 7 minutes worth of conversation. with her and her son. This is also a fifth house of kids with Venus and Mars in Aquarius. We got homes here. This is Callis Road. There's a home there, home here. It's a home and a shop. This is the fifth house of kids. Venus, Mars. I mean, this angle right here is huge. Hold on, there's Hurt Road. Going back over Hurt Road. Hold on. Hold up. Holy shit. Hold on. On my other map, there's the SO. This is the property. No, the SO is here. The property we searched is those woods is here. There's a pond here. Center Point Road. Let's keep on going. There's Wonder Valley Road. Turn on my addresses again. There's that store. Venus and Mars. What the hell? Uh-oh. D Green, what happened? D Green, what happened to Kimberly? D Green, if you're in here, I don't know if you made a mistake or not, but can you untime out Kimberly? I don't know if you meant to do that, D Green, if you're still in here. Jesus, girl. Kimberly, sorry, honey. Let me try to figure this out. Let me see if I can undo it. D Green, if you're in here, honey, or if somebody can untime her out, that would be great. Poor Kimberly. You think I have to? Oh, God dang. Okay. Kimberly, I'm so sorry, honey. Let's see if that worked. If it doesn't, if we don't see her in here in chat in a minute, I'll go into my settings and try to find out what happened. But D Green, if you're in here, honey, you've timed out Kimberly a lot. I don't know how you did it, babe, but if you can undo it, that'd be great. I think you could do it. I don't think I have to be the one to do it, but I don't know. April seems to think it may have to be me. So here's Long Hollow Pike. Let's see if this is going. That's going to Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville. There's the landfill search. That's the landfill search. So the landfill, so this intensity when he goes missing goes to Owens Chapel Road where the Wicks family lost their loved ones, and then it goes straight over the landfill. This is the intensity, the intense experience that has taken place. Yeah, remember CP saying no cameras working near Long Hollow Pike. Yeah. So I'm thinking that there's a drop off. I mean, tell us that there was a drop off without telling us that there was a drop off. You know? So it's right here. And I don't want to think that this is a hot spot, but I mean, this is the missing Pluto. The missing vertex begins here before it goes all the way up to the landfill. Stop 30 Road. Yeah, I'm not sure how it happened either, Deep Green, but you timed her out a lot. Let's see. Let me unlock that. I don't know, y'all. I'm thinking that there's a, you know, let's look at the. Let me see if I can get Kimberly back on, y'all. I don't know how to do this. Let me see if I can get her back on. Because this is when they leave the roadhouse. This is exactly when they leave the roadhouse. Hold on. Oh gosh, I can't get to it from here. Poor Kimberly. Sorry, Kimberly. We're gonna try to fix that, honey. We're gonna try to fix it. I don't know how to do it from my phone, and I don't want to show all of the. I don't want to show my data on YouTube, so I'll have to do it afterwards. I'm so sorry, Kimberly. We're gonna try to figure this out, honey. As soon as D Green can undo that, you'll be able to chat again. Yeah, April, I think that D Green will have to do it or me. Okay, so when they leave the Texas Roadhouse, this is what is happening. We're rising with health. There is a health factor going on here. It's okay, D Green, if you can, just undo it. I don't know how to undo it. I don't know how to undo it right now. All right, so Katie is going to learn. This is what I can already tell you that 1425 that keeps so 1104 1425, that's Katie. Let's go ahead and get, because that 1104 with her seems to be what keeps showing up right now with her. There it is. There it is. Okay. This is it. Sunday morning. Sunday morning. This is when it begins for the future of Sebastian going missing. There it is. That 931 is in his 10th house. Agriculture, working on land with groups. And I say working on land because Capricorn could be about work, could be about land, could be about authority. He has this 931 in his chart with Ceres. It could be about agriculture, church, groups. Aquarius is groups. And Katie's future burden is it's going to unleash. It's showing that. This is what is going on at the moment at 9 a.m. It's all about video. It's all about video and groups because that is what Aquarius is showing. Just trying to see if I can see anything. That 1701 is Sebastian. He is having problems. Pain from the past. Sharing a lot of pain from the past about his stepsister. He's in trouble. Katie is learning about money. She's learning about money. Chris is expanding that money. There's Chris. There's Katie. State of Tennessee is coming in with a big shaky shake with money and groups, video. And it does come. It definitely comes. The weight of home, though, this whole day, the weight of home and family is on Faith. Even though she's a little girl, she has no idea what's going on. There is a relationship in Texas. That would be Texana. There's a relationship in the 5th house of kids. This is about school. This is a Texas and Ohio degree. Interesting. This is really when it begins for Sebastian on that day. I wonder if they told him. Or if they just I just wonder if they told him. The enlightenment is definitely with the TBI. There is enlightenment with the physician, with the TBI. There's a devouring energy with communications and home with the TBI. TBI is showing up a lot. Lots of energy that is taking place with the TBI. The warring has just left Oklahoma. Israel and Mexico are being transformed on this day. The moon is going to be reflecting an opposition with groups with Sebastian before this time period. So the moon is in the 5th house of kids and creativity. It's about children. It's about school. There's a lot of attention here. It's at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're reflecting. The moon is about to oppose the groups of Sebastian, the future, his hopes, his wishes, his dreams, with his mom. There's things about school and his mom. Something is beginning and ending here. And that 1843 is coming into the 1846. I'm going to stop it when it gets there because that's the opposition right there. Right there. And I see that 1609. I keep seeing that 1609 coming in. And I'm just wondering if it's that dude. That 1609, I keep seeing it now. Is that nerdy attic dude? And what would that connection end up becoming that he would have? I'll have to look at Texana's chart and see. Hmm. It's just like the 631. I'm seeing a pattern here. Seeing a pattern with this degree, 631, and the 1609. And I'm going to find out who it is. I can promise you that. If I have to search my whole database with Sebastian, I'm going to find out who it is. I can promise you. The pressure won't ever let up until Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers is found. There's a flame of life here with communications with Seth, with two people, and this is Sunday morning. His values and the information that is going on with Sebastian, then Sebastian's going to get a wake up call about a higher learning going far. And that wake up call comes at 4:40. The wake up call, he's being shaken up. Things that are hidden here. There's a lot of stuff going on in Tennessee with long travels, a school, possibly church, a wake up call with the church, with the church, with the church. That's at 4:40. Let me look. He leaves Texas Roadhouse. Look at that. There's a 1608. So that's 1608, 1609. There's somebody else. Hmm. I feel like I'm missing something here. There is a transformation with Seth and his child right here as soon as they leave. 624:47. He's showing up. He's showing up here. Major transformation that is happening with him and his kid. But he's not there. It's with his kid and Katie. This divine justice is definitely going over Melissa. That's Melissa. So I may have to pull her chart too. That's Melissa. 0041 is Melissa, and it's also Michael Proudfoot. Okay. 2433. That's where the values with the law are, with the past. And Mercury is the conversation is not good. I wonder what they were talking about. Only the TBI in the Sumner County, only they would know what they're talking about. They should be able to hear their conversation and what they were talking about. Right there, though. A church, a long travel, another country. That's what Sag is about. Long travel, another country, church. Mm-mm-mm. There's a shakeup with his health. So if it takes them 9 minutes, let's just give them 10. Let's give them 10 minutes to make it home, 25, 26. This Mercury, there's communications that are not good with him and his mother. Hold on. 624, 634. 634. Let's just do 634. They should be getting home at this time. Let's look at it. Let's see if they Mercury here at a 454 is coming to Sebastian's 456 lowest point at home. His lowest point is a 456 in Pisces. Mercury's in Pisces. This is about communications with two or more. It's not good. Are they getting home and her saying, you're going to have to take your medicine, take out the trash? The 1845 is coming to that 1846. His Uranus is about to shake things up. Where is it going to shake things up with his health and this Piscean energy with his fourth house of home Uranus at an 1846, also in Pisces? It's going to be the neighbor. The shakeup with Uranus is with groups, but it's also with that ring cam, the ring camera, and him allegedly taking out the trash. That's what it is. Venus is about to come and oppose the values of Texana. She's going to come and oppose the values of Texana right here at an 1143. The transformation with values and home and mom and authority is going to come and oppose her when this gets to an 1143. It's also going to be making contact with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sure is. With a teacher, things that he learns, the things that he learns with this conversation that her and Chris are having, if he did make it home, are going to oppose Texana. It's going to oppose video. It's going to oppose her in the future with money, with groups, and she is being opposed. This 955 goes to Chris Proudfoot and his connection to Nina. This is all about him, him, and him, and him. This is all about Chris. It's all about Chris. It's all about him. I don't care if he was there or not. It's all about him. I don't like it. This is Texana. There's money that's being opposed, values that are going to be opposed in the future for her. She's on the wrong side of the fence. She's been on the wrong side of the fence. Whether she can't stand Bullhorn Betty or she's got a crush on Bullhorn Betty, I can't figure it out. I really can't. But this is an important time. 923, this is an important time because look, we're rising at a 2433. The information is at a 2443. And look at this, Zeus, the magnetism with the law is a 2433. We're reflecting here about health with a relationship, with a disordered aggression, with the dark moon. And we are reflecting also at that 2433. Let's just get it there. I mean, that's when we're reflecting. Once the moon gets to that 2433, we are reflecting the law relationships, information that we're talking about, the magnetism of the law, that 2433, man, I just keep seeing new new degrees that's got to be put in the database of my brain. My goodness gracious. This 1414 not only goes to the TBI, but it also goes to Alabama. Let's just go ahead and get that out. So goes to Alabama. This is insane. This is insane, really. Mm-mm-mm. This definitely goes to Kentucky. I mean, I'm sorry, this definitely goes to North Carolina. This is in the third house of communications and siblings. It's about a long travel. It's about a higher learning. There's a lot of energy, possibly with the church, agriculture, work, North Carolina. That's North Carolina. All the desires with Cupid for responsibility, accountability is showing up in the third house with North Carolina. Hmm. Law. I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on. Tell you what. Tell you what. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it here for now. I just wanted to come on, and just talk about the lives that I do. If we are playing the tape forward and I'm saying, hey, watch out for this day. Hey, watch out for that day. Let's watch. We can observe. But I want y'all to understand that this observation from a reading days ago, the most important information to me is the fact that Seth, the biggest advocate for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, is teaming up with the Wicks family to change the laws here in the state of Tennessee. That's the biggest information. Literally. That's what's going to bring him closer to finding his son, not the chatter, the he said, she said. Chris flipping on his own wife. Maybe he'll keep doing that. Maybe he'll talk a little bit more to someone else on down the line. Little information about a warrant, sealed warrant, sealed probable cause, taking videos, taking devices, taking Katie's phone. Is it true? I don't know. It's chatter. But what I can tell you is true is that Seth and the Wicks family are coming together to do great things for their missing loved ones. For the past missing and for the future, to change the laws. That's what I'm talking about. That's what a parent does. They transmute the pain and they do something great with it. They don't sit on a YouTube channel making fun of the father that has a missing kid. If Faith was missing, how would that family feel? It'd be a whole different ball game. Whole different ball game. Where's Sebastian? That's all that matters. Where is he? How can we find him? How can we get better at finding the missing using astrology and using the maps? Working it. But the maps work best when worked with the family and law enforcement with the information that they know. If the law enforcement really wanted to find Sebastian, they could really work with me and we could really try to find him together. It's an innovative way. It's different. I try my best to explain it the best I can. I don't always do a good job. Do any of the charts say it'll be done, the new law? No. It's not gonna tell me when the new law would be passed. When there are new laws, I mean, this is a process. And not only that, we have to find Jennifer and Adriana too. That property should have been searched 10, 15, 20, 30. It should have been searched years ago. They've been missing for 21 years. It should have been searched 21 years ago. They should have already found that baby and Jennifer. I believe that the mother did something. The father, the boyfriend, they all covered it up. And they know exactly where their remains are. So we have two families fighting to find their missing, fighting to make headway with the legislature. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We've always looked up to the stars. I mean, this is an ancient language. It's just that many people don't understand it. They don't understand. I mean, they just don't get it. I would say that Nina gave us a great picture describing her interaction with the Proudfoots, and that interaction was trauma. She cried a lot in the interview, and we can tell that they stick together. And they're not gonna have any outsiders. They're going to stick together. They're gonna make things happen. Bringing anybody from the outside in, like Yellow Coat, Green Hoodie, all these other people, it could definitely damage what they're trying to hide. Texana is definitely seen here in this chart, but it doesn't mean that she was involved. What it means is that there is going to be a future that's going to come. It's going to come, and it's connected to Sebastian, and it's going to oppose her. These values at 9:23 p.m. are opposing her, and they're going to come back around and oppose her in the future. I can promise you that. I mean, take it to the bank. I'm promising you. Let her be watching. I'm promising you, girl. It's going to come. It's coming. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and look. Let's look at Palace. Let's just look at Palace, and I'm going to tell you when this wake-up call with the investigation that's going to oppose her is coming. Mark it on your calendars. Mark it on it. Test me. Please. Please be my guest and test me, because it's coming. It's a coming, girl. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Oh, I just saw Faith. What? What? There's Faith. There's the 542. There's Faith. Texas, Ohio. Eric Craddock. Fate is coming upon, Katie. Oh, look at that. The trans Pluto. This is a big time period. Oh my God. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. Oh my gosh. This is a big time. I can't wait to see what happens. I cannot wait to see what happens, y'all. Y'all look. Hold on. I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited. Here, November 18th and 19th. Look, the 19th is a big day for me. I'm just going to tell you, it's a very sad day for me. Sad. But the reason why I map is because of this sad day that is coming on the 19th. I hold the wisdom, the 1635, I'm holding the wisdom. There is going to be things going on with Texana here. Let's just go ahead and get it there. Let's get it there. It's going to be coming in the future. It's going to give her a wake-up call. There it is. It's in the 8th house of death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things that are hidden with groups, with video. La la. La la. This is the 18th. Okay. Trans Pluto is sitting on the midheaven and is going to for days. So the 18th is a Tuesday. So mark it on your calendars, the 18th and the 19th. That's when we're going to see another crossroad, another breakthrough. She is being opposed. Major transformation is going on with her in the public eye. Pallas is an investigator. It brings an intellectual acumen. It's a wake-up call. It's like, knock, knock, knock. Wake up. Time to get going. There's a relationship coming to bring Sebastian a conscious raising experience with how he shines, going far. Right there. 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh yeah, 4 o'clock in the morning. Katie's waking up. She's got the fate upon her. Where she's been before with groups, how she brings in money. It's about her son. It's opposing home. It's opposing home. And just a few days prior, on the 17th, November 17th, lots of magnetism with the FBI, and it's opposing Terry Bowersox. It's going to oppose him. It's going to oppose him. What did y'all do with him? Like, seriously, what did y'all do with Sebastian? It's pretty, thank God, Kimberly. Kimberly's back. Whoever did it, thank you guys. Yeah, you got timed out. Kimberly, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Nobody meant to time you out. And for all your trouble and all that, I gave you a wrench, sweetheart. So please forgive us. Please forgive us. That's right, Krista. Loose lips sink ships. Loose lips sink ships. I imagine she's going to have a lot to say. Chris would have been better off not associating with her. But I mean, whatever. Whatevs. Whatevs. Whatever. The weight is coming to Sebastian too here. So the weight is going to be coming to Sebastian on the 20th. Ooh, I can't wait to see this. The next time that I go live, I want to pick it back up because we are going to see big things coming about on the 18th, the 17th through the 20th. The 17th through the 20th of November. Mars is coming to oppose Sebastian's relationships and partnerships. Right there. And not only that, this is showing up in Ohio too. So Ohio is going to feel this Mars as well. Ohio is going to feel this, guys. There's definitely a divine justice with the TBI here. The TBI, they have a midheaven and an IC that's a 559, I think. Yeah. Yep. It's a 559. Yep. It's about values. Going far. Values. The values of the TBI, the courts. The courts. (1545) Venus is showing up in the past. It's where I'm talking about this investigation on this day. And yeah, Katie is it's where she's been before. Where you been, honey? Where you been? because where she's been is where we're going to be discussing. That 2327, that is Louisiana. Things are going to be going on with Louisiana, Ohio. Then the weight is going to come upon Sebastian in Virginia. 2544. Communications, that 2929 was in transit with Sedna when he went missing. I remember that. $441. About the 450, 441. Vulcan 26. Oh God. That's right. That's right. There it is. There's the relationship. Sebastian and Marilyn. So we'll see Marilyn and Sebastian, and let's see what we can see here. If we get any, the dark moon is just going to sit on Sebastian's ascendant, and it's going to sit on the descendant of Maryland, the state of Maryland. We know Chris has ties to Maryland. The wisdom has already left California. There is this transformation, and it's still over Sebastian. That 456, y'all, is going to be over Sebastian. Let me see how many days is going to be, because this is going to be exciting to watch. Dang, from the 16th. Whoa. To the 24th. 16th to the 24th. Write it down. This 456, let me just show you. This 456 that I'm talking about, it's a big deal. This is going to be a big deal. Dang it. It's so big. All the while, this dark moon is going to sit on the ascendant of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. I need to be studying this time period. Like study, study, study. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I have not shut up. I've been on this live forever. Let me show you Sebastian's chart, and that way maybe you'll understand why I'm getting really excited about this time period. Hold on, let me find his natal. There it is. So there's going to be a transformation of health. There's going to be a transformation because this 456, this is his midheaven. That's his midheaven. His midheaven in Virgo in the 10th house. This is his public image. This is a public image. His public image is going to be transformed. There is going to be a major transformation with this case in November. It says you are hardworking, critical, exacting in your profession. You prefer order at work, like to be recognized for your high standards, your detailed work. This is a detailed analysis. This is a health factor. There's a health factor here. And the lowest point at his home with his mother is with drugs, water, and alcoholism. It's also with hospitals, doctors. Okay. Here's the teacher. And that teacher at 1143 is shown up in his chart. This is where he receives information about things of the past that affects his health. And this could have to do with a device, a computer, could have to do with a phone, something that is at school, has to do with school, has to do with a teacher. It's about money. It's about things of the past with other people's money, the investigation, the trash being looked at, the sewer pipes, different things like that. But there is a major transformation. This 456 is going to be in transit for days with Trans-Pluto. Trans-Pluto is a higher octave of Pluto, so we are going to see a lot of transformation. And it's going to be very intense in November. And that is when we could really see it pick up with his image. I definitely, this is at 2:00 in the morning when this begins. It's in the 11th house. And here we are, and we see this 1405 transiting again. It's going to, again, be about teacher, faith. That's what this is about. That's why he went missing. And there's going to be a shaky shake with this 2922. We talked about it. That 2922 with the shake, with the groups and us, that's us. That 2922 is about, it's about his Venus. It's about his Venus, his values, the things that he held in possession, the things that he owns, phones, shoes, flashlights. This is about values at a business. There's a transformation here. Major transformation. And it's going to shake the internet up. It's going to shake us, we the people, up, because that 2922, yes, it is transiting in his 6th house of health and is every day. It's about the woods. It's about the woods. It's going to shake things up with groups, with video. You can see that the 2510 is coming into the same degree as the lunar nodes. I'm sorry, not the lunar nodes of the Mars in the state of Tennessee, that 2509 that I was talking about when we first started. We're going to see this come up again. There's going to be limits and obstacles with the health of the state of Tennessee and the marshals. Are we going to be back in Memphis? Don't know. But this 14 degree is definitely coming to faith, the lunar nodes, faith, but it also is going to Michael Proudfoot. Michael Proudfoot. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So we're going to see the shake. The groups are going to be shaken up. There's going to be a relationship that, again, is going to come to Seth about his child. The 1704, it's just left Sebastian. It's just coming to Crabtree and Cruella again. But this relationship, this Juno, oh, Juno right here. She's going to end up coming to it. There's a relationship with Seth. It's going to give him a conscious raising experience. He's going to learn something. It could have to do with the courts. Could have to do with the judge, the DA. Monday, November 24th. Okay, Monday the 24th, the Trans-Pluto has already left Sebastian. This relationship, Seth. Oh, this 2704, this is faith. This is also Eric Craddock. It is also going to the United States at a federal level. This is a federal case. Federal. Big. Big. This is big. This is a big time period. The end of November is going to be big for Sebastian. Oh my gosh, April, thank you so much. You are so sweet. Thank you, honey. Thank you for being you. You are so sweet. Thank you, honey. I appreciate that. April is so good to me. The lunar nodes are now at that 1408 with faith. I mean, this is all about faith, y'all. I can't say it enough. But I want to see Jupiter. I want to see what Jupiter is going to look like when it comes to the Proudfoot boy, because Jupiter is about to expand his Saturn. Jupiter is going to come and expand that Saturn that he has. He has a Saturn at a 2445. Like I said, it also goes to China. So we can look at it, China. But this boy, he must, there's that 1607. It's coming to that 1609 again. I keep seeing it. There's the state of Tennessee, the U.S. Marshals. Things aren't doing good. Ain't happening. Shit's going awry. 1642. I keep seeing that one too. 1642. I think I keep seeing this one too, and I think that's Kathy Bowersox. It could be Canada or Alaska too. I'll have to, she's connected to one of them, and I can't remember. I'll have to do my due diligence, but I want to see this 2445. What time is it? Do I see anything with Sebastian at that time? That's what I'm looking for. End of November. There we are. Okay, so the weight is on Texas and Ohio with communications and their values, money, limits and obstacles with the state of Tennessee and how they bring in money, corrupt shit. Possibly. But look at that 2445. Got Memphis. Something's up here. Hold up. There's so much to see here with Sebastian. What's going to happen is that, so Jupiter is going to expand communications. There's going to be limits and obstacles for that boy with his family. Uh-huh. Sebastian, the sun is going to shine on that 456. There's Memphis. No, that's Mississippi. I hope I didn't say Memphis. That's Mississippi. Things are going down with China for sure, but the warring with China is going to come, and the warring with that boy is going to come on this day, on December 2nd, because Eris is now at that 2445. I can see we're learning something about Texas again. The midheaven, this is where Sebastian is sharing pain about communications with groups, about his stepsister. Got to be a divine justice with the state of Tennessee. There could be things coming, guys, that whoa. That's the TBI. That's the TBI. The TBI and that boy are going to be in an opposition. There's going to be major challenges. The lunar nodes are on the lunar nodes of fate with Eric Craddock. The lunar nodes are going to be shaking Chris up with groups. The lunar nodes at this time are also going to be giving Katie a lot of pain. And look at that. Trans-Pluto is stationing. And guess what that means? Trans-Pluto is going to station at a 457, and it's going to retrograde and come back over Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. This is big. The days ahead for Sebastian are really looking like they're going to be this is going to be some intense shit. So December 10th, we're going to come right back. We're going to come right back. And Trans-Pluto is going to come back and sit and transform once again the midheaven of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Katie is being opposed. I'm sorry, Katie, but you are going to be opposed. This is not going to work out for you, girl. It's just not going to work out. This is not working out. And it's going to continue to not work out. Not only is Trans-Pluto out of 456 and is going to sit on that midheaven once again, but y'all, Vulcanus and Leo, it's about kids and school, publicity. That 457 is coming down into a 456. This is big. The end of this year, like I said before, a long time ago at the beginning of a year. Yeah, I'm still saying it. I'm still meaning it. I still believe it. The 11th on Thursday is even bigger. This is the day again. Wow. 1313. I've got a lot of investigating to do. There's the TBI showing up once again. Oh, sorry. The TBI is not only showing once again, but so is Alabama. That 1414 is the TBI in Alabama. Things are really not looking good for Katie. Moving forward ain't happening. Ain't happening at all. Mm-mm. There's that 1642 again, guys. There it is. You see what I'm saying? It'll just keep showing up. The same degrees will just keep showing up. This is about a home, a weight over the vehicle, a possible head wound with Sebastian, his family, the home. And once again, we see that 2922, those values that, came and shook us up in November with Uranus at that 2922 with Sebastian's Venus, those values, the things that he holds in possession. Now, look at that. Neptune is coming right there. This is a big day. Thursday, December 11th. It's a big day. This could be, this doesn't even look, it just doesn't look or feel positive to me. At all. Uh-uh. You see these 13s, the lunar nodes come into those 1340s, 1350s that Chris and Craddock and Katie share. Those 13s, yeah, it's the lunar nodes have come over it, and now these other behaviors are going to come over, and I know the state. I can't remember it. The 1313. I'll have to find it. But there's a state that this fate is coming upon. And then that 344 that Trump has, that Israel has, that Mexico has, that was in transit when he went missing is showing up there too. So we've got a Mexico and Israel. This is also Oklahoma. This is also Oklahoma. So we have Oklahoma, Israel, Mexico, and Trump. There's a lot of energy coming to Trump here on this day as well, on this evening. There would have been a wake-up call with the sister, with Sebastian's sister. And again, there's a sister showing up with Venus. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. $16.44. That 1644 is Florida. I can't remember the other one. There's a few states that have it, but I can think of Florida right there. Definitely a devouring energy with me and home and family on Thursday evening. I'm sure I'll be talking to you guys. But I'm going to study this. I'm going to study this and shut up. But this is big. This is big. This 456 is going to be given a lot of publicity to Sebastian, transforming his public image. But for Katie and Chris, not looking good for y'all. Just saying, it's just not, it's not looking good at all. Yeah, it does sound big to me too. So the end of November into December, I think that we are going to see a movement of some sort with Sebastian's case. Definitely. I definitely do think that that's what's happening here. And Katie is not gonna, this is not gonna work out well for Katie. Doesn't look like it to me. And the, Texana thinking that she is this badass. The future is not looking good for her either. So, not looking good for her. She's made a mistake. And it's a big one. It's a big one that's going to transform her with groups, publicity. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. I can tell you this too, is that on this, at this time, Friday morning on the 12th, let me just go ahead and tell you this before I shut up. This is a big time period. I can't say it any more than what I've said. The lunar nodes of fate are going to be fated with the values of the TBI. Here's the TBI. We're waking up Friday morning on the 12th, and the TBI is showing a future values with fate. This is possibly water, drugs, doctor, hospital, physician. Neptune is still at that 2922 with Sebastian. Seth is going to hear some things that he may not like. There is going to be a wake-up call, a shaky shake with groups in the future with Crabtree and Miss Bowersox. The sun is shining on things of the past, possibly fire, possibly long travel, possible church with Sebastian and the TBI. Mars is going to be opposing the things that have taken place behind closed doors at his home, at Sebastian's home. The dark moon is going to be at a critical degree at a 2904. And you can see that the moon is at a 2905. So that 2904 is what has transformed Sebastian with school, with long travels, another country, a church, a higher learning for sure. There is a disordered aggression here that is making contact with Sebastian. All the while, the nodes of fate are on the TBI with their values, their work, their investigation. And there is a justice that is coming for Katie There is things that are having to do with faith that keep showing up. A lot of this is, of course, not that little girl's fault at all. It's her dad, her dad's family. I don't know about her mother. I just know that her dad and his family has a whole missing kid, stepkid, that it had it been her, the ball game, the rules, all of that would be so different. So different. The weight, this 1513 with Hades is at a 1513 and it's coming down in degree. It's coming down in degree to a 1511. Seth doesn't do well with the state of Virginia at all. And this 1512, 1511, let's just go ahead and get it the hour because this is a major opposition for Virginia. Major opposition with could be about war. I see just laying in this. Miss Maxwell, I see her. The flame of life with groups Sunday morning on December 14th is not good in Virginia. You know who else I'm seeing? I'm seeing Jules, the dog handler, too. She's right here. She shares a degree with Ghislaine Maxwell. I get it. I do too. This is about the woods, a flame of life in the woods. Maybe she's coming back to search again in the woods. I don't know. The publicity has left Sebastian at this time, though. We're learning things that are opposing Sebastian and his sister and the communications. It just gets deeper and deeper, don't it? Then the next day, no, that's no. I keep seeing Ohio. All right, I'm gonna shut up, guys. I've got a lot of work to do. I've been on this for I appreciate y'all listening to me. I really do. I appreciate you guys not just listening, but wanting to learn something different. Sometimes we just got to do something different to get different results, and we can investigate this way, and it's very interesting to do it this way. And especially when we look at it in hindsight, because when we look at it in hindsight, we're going, wow, yeah, that's it. That's how it expressed itself. Who would have thought? Never knew that the nerdy dude existed, didn't know that, Seth and the Wicks family were going to hook up and on the 15th. And it's a great thing. It's a great thing, but we've got more work to do to find Sebastian. Lots more work. And that work is going to definitely get us into November and December. Major things are going to be, I see a big change in the case of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, Tennessee. And there's going to be a weight that's going to come over, not just Virginia, but Seth as well. I mean, his son is missing. Life has not gone on for him. It's the same. He still has the Christmas tree up, still has Sebastian's room the same. I mean, he is waiting for his son to call him. He is waiting for the call to say, we have found your son. That call has not come. These other channels want to talk about this one, that one, and the other one, and not about truly helping the only advocate for Sebastian, Seth. It's Sebastian's biggest advocate. It should be his mother, but hey, It isn't. It isn't. Shit. That Venus, though, that's been in hiding, on the 14th, it's going to be dark. It's coming in and it's going to be dark. Lots of disordered aggression about other people's money and the things that are hidden. With the values, with things that Sebastian owns. Could there be that something is going to be found of Sebastian's? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, that's all they do is create distractions. That's all they do. That is literally all they do, y'all. One distraction after the other. One distraction after the other. And it's sad. It's sad. It really is. That there is a 15-year-old, now 16-year-old that's missing. But this day, this evening on Sunday, well, it's a lot of disordered aggression. And it's going to be, we're gonna continuously talk about Melissa. We're going to continuously talk about on this channel the Proudfoots. We're going to talk about the things that were happening in California and the bases, the military bases, the military family that Sebastian comes from. We're going to continuously talk about that on this channel. And I'm going to hold to it that there is a big reason for Sebastian being missing. And it goes back to Chris, his family, his stepsister, and the courts. That's the motive. But where is he? That's what we're, we just keep pushing, trying to find him. Where's Sebastian? And all I can do is hope that one day that it's going to, these degrees and the map is going to click and there's going to be something. There's going to be something that is really going to come together. Now, this right here on December 14th, the evening of December 14th, we're definitely going to be talking about Alaska. We're definitely going to be talking about the trip to Alaska. Okay. So now we're in December and we're talking about the past communications and Alaska. We're also going to be talking about past communications and Alabama. And I'm going to leave it there. All right, guys, I hope you have a great rest of the afternoon and evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate your time. Your time is energy. It's so important. And you could be anywhere, listen to anything, listen to a bunch of stupid stuff. But I'm so glad that you're here, wanting to learn something new, do something different, and learn. Because it takes us all. I'm not a one-hit wonder. It takes us all. It takes us all. I appreciate your time, really. And I'm going to leave, I'm going to see if I can get Sebastian's anthem. See if I can get his anthem to show up here. And I can end it with that. In the chat with that. This anthem. All right, guys. Peace out. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Clean like your soul, won't be forgotten. We stand strong for you, never give up. Seek justice and truth, day and night we search. Community gathers, wipe the tears away. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Time-Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, babe. It lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise up for you, Sebastian strong. Sebastian's army, we march on. Each day comes and goes, hope in our hearts. You're never alone, we'll bring you home. Wish it was a dream, hey, it lingers on, but strength we carry will keep you strong. Rise